Welcome to the Crimson Comedy Show! Welcome to the Crimson Comedy Show. I'm your host, Andy. Today we have a very special guest today. He's a comedian, musician. Give it up for Dan Ochoa.
Hi.
And we're live. How's it going, Dan?
It's going all right. It's going just fine. Sorry, I just came in hot there compared to the sound check suddenly.
You kind of had a pause. I was like, does he not know we're recording?
Yeah. It's strange. My voice drops an octave. I got to stop doing that whenever I get close to a microphone. This is actually my real voice, right? No, it's not. But when I get in front of these microphones, I want to be like, it's 1:46 in the morning, and do you know where your children are?
It sounds like you kind of sound like one of those radio hosts you hear at the laundromat. 96 colas.
Yeah. Hey, it's really nice. You're going to listen to this. It's going to feel like a breeze is going over the back of your neck and tickling you.
Hey, I'm glad the fucking rain is over. I'm so over this rain. How was the weather by you? Were you guys getting crazy hail over there?
I have a house that it floods in the front yard all the time. So that's fun.
I've been to your house. I remember that the front yard's like a hill in the front, right?
Yeah.
And what about your garage? Do you have to put sandbags in front of it?
I have no garage.
I thought you had a garage. Or maybe I'm tripping.
Nope.
Well, I know there's a slope. There's a sloped driveway. Anyways.
No, I have no garage. That's how old my house is. It's before they had cars. No, just kidding. It's a 1956. It's before it was built for someone that wasn't optimistic to think they could own a car. But it's in the old Alta Loma area, so where old people die, and then people like me come in and go, ooh. But not anymore though. The housing, how expensive it is, it's ridiculous.
That's a nice area where you live. I like the park right there. I always take my kids to feed the turtles in the, what is it called, Red Hill Park?
Yeah. Yeah,
it's a nice park. I like to feed the little duck, even though they tell you not to, but I still do it anyways. But we used to go get oatmeal to feed them. That's safe for the ducks or whatever the fuck they have there. But
no, it's fine. It's just that one of them's a robot. It's it will kill anybody that touches the ducks wrong.
Once you start feeding them, the turtles that come out they have huge ones, ones with the long necks. I don't know what they're called. They look like snapping turtles, big ass turtles. But I like that park. It's a good spot to take your kids. How many kids do you have?
2.
How old are they?
They're 13 and 14 right now, but I think later on they're going to be older.
You had Irish twins, 13 and 14?
Nah.
Isn't that what they call it? And you have kids back to back?
So they're 18 months apart. We tried for Irish twins, but with our work ethic, we were too slow. So, yeah.
Anyways, do your kids like that park?
They don't go anymore. It's funny. After 2020, my kids are mostly indoor kids unless they're at school. And then at school, it's let's do all the outdoor stuff we can while we're at school. It's when you get home, it's I got my computer. Leave me alone.
Same with my daughter. She'd rather be on FaceTime with her friends. I'm they can come over, right? Or you can go there, vice versa,
Nah, then I'd have to smell their house.
Does my house smell bad?
No.
I sprayed a bunch of air freshener before you got here, so if you're getting a little high, what is that? Febreze. That's what it is.
I get self-conscious of it because always online people are talking about, there's always a smell in your house. Everybody smells that you don't smell, and it's okay, we should go on vacation. We're gonna go coming up on a ghost town tour.
Oh, that's sick.
So I'm gonna have AI tell us where to go. And then we're going to get murdered.
Where is this at?
Well, we're definitely going to see Bodie, which is up here in California. So I think northeastern California. Well,
you guys taking a road trip or what?
We're going to rent an RV.
Are you doing it for spring break?
Yeah.
My kids started spring break now. I'm what the hell? It's too early, but whatever.
All the... So in every district, all the spring breaks are being moved around.
Yeah, because they don't want these hoodlums running around at the same time, I guess.
Well, That's kind of cool though, because like if Raging Waters is open right now, there's not as many kids there.
Well, it sucks because right now it's been raining, so my kids are on spring break and it's cold and raining, and like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Like, we can't go anywhere. It's kind of stopped raining, but it's fucking cold out. So
Yeah, that stinks because then Raging Waters is closed because it's raining, and you're like,
I've never been to Raging Waters. One, because I'm fat, and two, because I'm poor. Like,
well, the best time I ever went to Raging Waters was in 8th grade when it's that day where they bring it's closed except for some schools go there.
oh yeah, like it's closed for you guys. That's cool.
Well, not just us, but like a few other, and we were in public school at the time. Like I went to a private school earlier, but that's before the divorce. 80s.
What high school? What high school did you go to, or junior high?
Oh, well, Walnut High School. I was in Walnut.
Also, it's right there. It's
Yeah.
not too far, right?
Yeah, I would cheat off all the like.
Were
the
you
other
there when they
kids.
filmed Bill and Ted? Did you get any? Did you get to
No,
see
that's
that?
San Dimas.
Isn't that where Raging Waters is?
Well, yeah, so that's where Raging Waters is. Later on, I lived in Glendora and I delivered pizza around San Dimas and Laverne. Yes.
Did you ever have any celebrities you meet? Nobody?
Nah.
You didn't go to their movie set? No?
No, well, I mean, all there is that Circle K left in San Dimas, and
It's still there?
it's not even a Circle K anymore. It's some sort of like other mart, or it sucks. And they don't even have like a telephone booth there or the bones of George Carlin. You'd think you'd see something like that.
Oh, yeah, R.I.P. He's one of the greatest comics I ever seen.
Yeah.
I've never seen him live, but just perform. Like, I watch all his HBO specials. He can just rant about nothing. Like, could you imagine if he had a podcast? He'd be like, I guess, maybe like Tim Dillon, he just goes on, rants, and talks about crazy stuff.
Well, I kind of have like a what's it called? I admire people that can talk shit about what they hate, and the audience loves them. Because
He
when
was
I
smart,
do that,
too.
I come off as hateful, and like all my stuff has to be written to where it's like, don't come off as an asshole.
You know what I like? Like, I've done shows with you, and I like when you like command the crowd when they're not paying attention, and you just start walking the crowd and start talking in their faces. Like, you've done that a few times. It's pretty funny.
I get mad when there's a short leash. I was at a club yesterday. I won't name it, but like I looked at the cord and I'm like, I'd have to bring my own.
Your own wireless.
Or something like that. Like, because I don't. The reason why I walk into the crowd is because I'm not a very good comedian. No, just kidding. No, yes, it's fun to do that. Is to get closer
Get
to
their
people.
attention.
Well, you already have their attention if you're like up at like a club or something. If you're able to walk into it, you help bring up the energy for the rest of the show a little bit. It's kind of weird. They're wondering if anyone else is going to do that, which no one else is, because I don't know. I've been asked by people. It was funny. I was at Accidental Chaos, and Mike Mattore, he went up after me, so I went up second to last, right? Because I told Carol, I was like, I'm going to the Riff Raff after, which if you haven't been to that, that's a fun show.
No, I know who Bill Myers is. That's his name, right? Billy Myers.
Billy Myers third, yeah.
I've seen him perform. He's hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah, I went to my first one, so I was performing in Accidental Chaos down the street the same night, and I was like, let me go second last. So Mike saw me get up in someone's face to do one of my jokes, and the guy just like the whole time. So when Mike goes up, he's like, Dan, that guy was going to stab you. Like, he's staring in the eyes. Funny thing is, I saw that guy later at the Riff Raff, and I went like, hey, was
did
that...
he get the same look?
No, yeah, I look at him and go, hey, man, was that too much? And he goes, no, man, I was into that. And I was like, oh, all right, that's fine, that's fine. I'm not trying to really do an impersonation. He just had a deeper voice than mine. But, yeah, that was fun, is because when you go to Hollywood, it's a little different. It's a little different.
Are they more uptight out there? I've only done it once, the Comedy Store one time.
It's not that it's
Open mic.
uptight. It's just that it's a different kind of culture of what you do when you're not on stage.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed is like Hollywood
Hollywood.
crowds want you to joke less when you're not on stage.
I want you just to shut your mouth. Stop talking, Dan.
They like to have a lot of like more like serious conversation, or like, oh, we're going to this or that. Is that, and then when I'm around, like, the Feed That Funny guys or something, we'll joke the whole time we're around each other. That's more of how I grew up anyway.
They're not so uptight. So Hollywood's like uptight assholes or what?
I don't know if it's uptight. They just don't like certain types of humor.
I heard they're like really like they get really offended really easily, and they're all like out for each other. Like you can't trust none of them.
So not like the Billy Myers and that Comedy Store crew. They're not offended easily. If you saw them, they're definitely not offended easily. That's why Maxwell Farms is, sponsoring that. If they were,
Shout
you
out to
wouldn't do
Max.
that. Yeah.
That's where I met you. Was at a Maxwell Farm show at the little Mexican restaurant in Orange County.
Yeah. So yeah, like they wouldn't do that. I actually do have friends that are in the more sensitive crew of people in the Hollywood sphere, and I do their shows also. For some reason, my stuff translates to that, but I'm never like, coming out trying to drop N bombs.
You
and
produce
shit.
your own shows, right? The D's Nuts. Is that your own show? Or?
No. That's Vargas Mason.
I thought that was you because I always see you doing it.
Well, I did a lot for him, and I want to get back to doing stuff for him. That's the guy that was the reason why I got into the Comedy Store in the first place, or the Ice House. He was the first, person to say, "Hey, let's, do you want to do shows here?" I was like, "Cool," but that's because I had, did what you're supposed to do, which is you go hang out and go to shows with various producers. You get to know who they are. You support them, and therefore they're going to support you back. Like, Lynn's son's one of the biggest producers that supported me. I'm going to be doing a show in West Hollywood on April 4th for her. I'm getting details soon. I don't know exactly where, but I'll be doing hers soon. She's still getting that together. And then, for a little while there, I was doing like the Dat fan mics out there. So
I remember him. Like, I don't know him, but I remember like when the TV show, the one that he won, the Last Comic Standing.
yeah, he's the first winner of
Yeah,
that.
I remember him winning, and then just never hearing from him again. Like 15 years later, he just reappeared back in the comedy scene.
Yeah, I guess.
I heard he took the money and just went back to his old job or something.
No, he's still in comedy now, and actually they're moving to New York to continue it.
But he went on hiatus, right, for like years. Like he just won and then took off.
No, he's been doing comedy, just not in the same connections, I guess. And I don't know all the stories or anything, but not in the same connections he would in the beginning.
The winner was supposed to get their own TV show, and then nothing ever came of that. Like, did he ever get a show out of it? That was part of the prize,
Part of the prize of a reality show is you're gonna like get what you actually said.
I don't know. I was a kid when this was going on. I think I was probably like 12 or 13 when this was going on.
You know what I would expect is they would have like a reality show where it's like, hey, if you're able to do this for 3 weeks, you get a nut in Kim Kardashian's face, and then like suddenly like at the end of the show, it's like, all right, he gets to do it, and then they
Like,
just cut to
psych.
black, and then it's like, all right, we'll just tell everybody you did. You go, well, fuck her, that, get over here, like.
That's like when you win tickets from a radio station, and then it says equal or lesser value, so you might not even get your Disneyland tickets. You'll get a Knott's Berry Farm tickets.
But that's the whole thing. If you look at it, how everything is going worldwide, material wise, like all the business, everything's becoming scams are fine. Scams are good.
Sue us, I dare you.
Yeah, like that's what everything is now. It's just like, hey, buy this thing. It will freaking blow you while you're sleeping. And then when like you get it, it's like all it did was make toast. Yeah, it's a toaster, dickhead. But you said it would blow me while sleeping. Yeah, but legally, we don't have to actually have it blow you while sleeping. Just
You didn't read
it's
the
a
fine
toaster. It says, yeah, the fine print will not actually blow you while sleeping. Like,
Read the fine print, Dan. And before, I just wanted to mention this. To the people listening at home, if you didn't know, Dan is the man behind our theme song. I forgot to mention. I reached out to Dan in a few days. He came back to me. I went over. I laid down the two-track vocals that we did, and he made it happen. This guy's a genius. But I wanted to get into the music and the comedy. What's the name of your band?
Hecla.
I couldn't pronounce it. I remember like the way you had it written. Obviously, it's in metal.
So
like,
think heckler. Now
So
say
heckler.
it like in a really horrible, stereotypical Boston accent.
Hecla. So what
Hecla.
is that a different language or is that just a made up word?
Well, so it was a made-up word, Hekla, and then I found out it is actually a volcano in Iceland. Which,
So it's Swedish? Is that Swedish? Is Iceland Swedish?
I believe Swedish or Norway. Either way, it's where I'd have to expatriate
I ain't no
if shit really went
scientist, but
south.
I don't know where that is.
That's right next to Greenland, which is where our current president is trying to take that
He's
territory.
like, let's buy it.
And here's the weird part. Greenland is called Greenland because the Viking that named it wanted people to settle there. And he
To
wanted to
trick
keep
him.
Iceland to himself, which was the actual green,
Someone
the
said,
green island.
Someone said, I don't think Trump understood. Like, he still thinks it's green there.
Well, no, I actually think, so he's not, totally crazy in this is that it's like, it is like what's it called? Military strategic point. But a military strategic point against Europe. So that's like an aggressive move. Like, it's like, is that a good idea? Because I still like some European stuff, man. We want some French stuff. We want some Spanish stuff.
They like metal over there. You'd be fucking a rock star over there, huh?
That's the thing is like Keen of the Crow, my old doom metal band.
How many bands have you been in?
Like 8, but like only really like, so Keen of the Crow was the first band I was ever in, and the only one that's ever really been signed to a label.
Oh shit, you were signed? Like,
yeah, we were signed to a label called Growl.
When was this?
Oh, early 2000s, back then. And back when I used to work at a recording studio called Love Juice Labs in Riverside and La Habra. Because I've like produced like over,
That's
500.
I know when I
metal
went to
and
your
punk
house
bands.
and you recorded, you were like done in like 10 minutes. I was like, this guy's a fucking genius. Like, he's like, I literally hit up the right person because I was gonna do it myself, but I was like, I don't know shit. And you were able to like knock it out just like exactly how I wanted. So thank
but
you.
it's not totally that. It's actually the way things have gotten lately. Like some of those plugins that I use to do your stuff, that I even used to do like my own Instagram like videos and stuff. Easy shit anyone can get. I'm going to be making videos when the Heckler album comes out, like how you could download all these things. Most of them are free. Yeah.
You could make money off those YouTube tutorials. You could post all that crap and then add some little music to it and then
Well, yeah, if you're charismatic, or like not like me. No,
use your radio voice.
I love this microphone. But this is a Shure microphone. I'm really enjoying it. No, I've always enjoyed this. Like I miss it. I used to. The way I started comedy was in a podcast. But we'll go to that later. But the metal stuff, there is a lot of stuff you could do from home now that just sounds amazing with a small budget. And the thing is that I was struggling to mix when I did the first Hecla album, when I did the Ranting album before that, which was the first album I did from my home in that room you came to.
Yeah.
I struggled until I like did different settings on the back of my speakers, learned a little bit about who I was as like a listener.
It's a headache dealing with technology, and they always come out with new stuff. Like, I'm still trying to get a hang of this crap, so you live and you learn,
Well, in this case, you're not just dealing with technology, you're dealing with nature. You're dealing with the physics of the room you're in, the way the air moves,
Exactly.
and then also the way you psychologically respond to it. Like, I'm old school, so like I'm bass sensitive. If I mix things the way I normally hear them, there's not enough bass in it, and then people are like, "Ooh, this sounds like a white guy mixed it." Yeah, he did. Like, it is, but then again, as I've played more bass, I've gotten those newer
what's
bass
your
tones.
instrument of like? What's your main instrument you play?
Guitar.
Because I didn't know you do everything, right? You're a one man band.
Yeah, well, I program drums. I can't play those because the feet don't work. But like, I program the drums, play the bass, the guitar. When I do like those silly things on Instagram where I'm doing those, I'll do loops. Like I don't practice enough thanks to having to have a career. I got the kids, the family. You got to work. I work about 48 hours a week. Do the comedy stuff, so I'm at a couple open mics a week, of course.
Hey, we're in the same page. It's a lot of
Yeah.
shit. I do the podcast, I work, comedy. It's a lot.
So when I play guitar, it's here and there and stuff until I get a bug up my ass to make an album. Then I'm suddenly practicing like 45 minutes a day, and I'm getting badass at it.
How long you been working on that album? I remember you told me that like a year ago. Is it the same album?
So the first Hecla album I put out in 2020, thanks to the beauty that was
Sitting at home.
Yeah, I mean that's how I got into comedy too. Like prior to 2020, I was actually super miserable. I was working around 58 hours a week to 60.
That's me right now.
Yeah, but so I kind of have this luxury that where I work, I've worked myself to the point where they can't replace me because, I'm a badass. Don't worry, they won't be watching this. But like,
Be undeniable.
That's what you actually want to do when you get into a place is learn not just their products, but learn how to be the guy that like can figure out shit that's not even your pay grade.
Like when I asked you how I wanted the vocals recorded and I wanted to, you figured it out just like that. You didn't even know what the fuck I was talking about. I had to like look up YouTube videos and then you figured it out just like that. So yeah, you've kind of mastered that.
Well, yeah, you actually pushed me to learn that one thing. I remember I was like, I don't know how to do this shit. He looks it up on Google. I'm like, Oh, now I know what they're saying.
Because I couldn't explain. I didn't know. I was like, I wanted to just to cut out. Like, I guess they call it a bass drop or something. It's like,
And it's where it's a time warp.
yeah, whatever that. I don't know the technical.
Yeah, so it's like you pitch shift over time. Like you let it go drop.
I just heard bands do it, like where it cuts out and then it starts a breakdown or a song, and it sounds fucking sick. So
here's the weird. So like when I used to work at the studio, this was back during like we recorded Travis Barker at that studio.
This one in Riverside.
Yeah, loved Use Labs. Like Travis Barker. Okay, fuckers, if you're into Sleep Token, Travis Barker's the drummer. I just let it out. Right here on this show. He's the Barker. Dude, I watched those Sleep Token videos. That's Travis Barker on the fucking drums.
He was also in the Aquabats too.
He was, but like, have you seen Sleep Token?
I've heard of them, but I've never watched videos.
Okay,
of them.
so we watched my this is hilarious. My kid and I are watching a Sleep Token video for the Summoning, a drum playthrough, right? Mm-hmm. He's playing. Now, here's the weird thing. I noticed he's doing this.
Oh, his movements, so you can recognize his movements?
And I'm like, I've only seen that one other time in my life. This crazy, his hands look like they're going to hit his microphones. Okay, but they don't. They never do. He dances while he plays, and there's a particular way. So I'm sitting there with my kid. I go, that's fucking Travis Barker. They're like, what? We look it up. It says, well, Travis Barker has corroborated with Sleep Token. No, that's him. That's fucking him.
Like, have you heard the band Ghost?
Yeah.
Do you know that Dave Grohl did some, like, he laid down some tracks on some of their old songs?
That's totally it. That was the beauty of what Ghost is Tobias, I think that's the name, Tobias Forge. Mm-hmm. He hires all these other musicians. But that's why he ended up, like, when they did the 80s transformation being Cardinal Copia, during that time he was under, like, some sort of lawsuit where he couldn't be Papa Emeritus because apparently he was being sued by the band saying, oh, we own part of this character. We helped develop it. That's weird.
Why he switches characters every like Slipknot. They change their mask every album and shit.
And speaking of that, that's what I do for Hecla.
So what's your well, you said you're going to film a music video, right? What's going on with that?
Yeah, so right now the thing holding it up is I'm learning how to 3D print also. So You're going to
make a mask?
Well, it's more of a crown, but there's a mesh that goes over my face so you can't see it. Glowing eyes behind it that look are fake, that kind of stuff. And it's got a crown of teeth and gums. You
could be like DJ Deadmau5 with the big ass helmet thing on.
I think there's a beauty to having that.
Yeah, is that like being mysterious?
Well, I have a punchable face. I was bullied as a kid. Like, you have to learn who you are and what you have to deal with. Right? And so I think that's also why Tobias Forge does the makeup. Is like, if you look at him, maybe in Sweden, he's a punchable face. Yeah, I don't know.
He was like, when they first started Ghost, he was like clean cut and young. Now he's older and stuff. He's got long hair and a beard now. He kind of looks like you, but not the long ass beard like that, but he looks like a metalhead for sure.
Well, and maybe it's just like you get people that do the mask stuff. I wonder if like, did you ever have that face where no one took you seriously? and so once you put on the mask, you go into metal and you're like, cool. Now, so for comedy, I love not looking serious. Like, I grew my hair back out.
The weirder you look, the funnier you are. Like, they don't like hot people in comedy. Like, if you're a hot dude or a hot chick, like, you're gonna get judged based off that,
Well, and I'm an older dude, so you have to like not everybody's Johnny Gold, okay? Not everybody could just be punk rock as fuck the minute they walk in the room and just have that aura of like, hey, I'm here. Have you heard the one about my mom? Anyway, that was almost good. Dude, I love this microphone.
Hey, Johnny's a goat. I had him on here and it was a disaster episode. We had the fucking power die. I spilled drinks in here. Like, but he's great. I mean, he wants to come back on again. We're having him back on again. But yeah, I like him. I respect him because he's helped me out. He's always really nice to me, like giving me advice and shit like that. And he always likes and comments on all my shit. So shout out, Johnny.
Yeah. He's mostly, and also he's one of the most punk rock individuals I've ever met in my life. Like, I don't know.
With the white jeans, the only one who could pull it off.
It's not just that. It's the fact that if he needs to talk shit, he does without any back down. Not like a bulldog, though. Well, not like a little... That's not it. It's exactly. Like, I'm just here to tell you how it is, and you're gonna listen and take it, cause I can outrun you.
You're like, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He's the only person I've ever seen outside of In-N-Out with white jeans on. I couldn't pull that off. Just kidding, Johnny. You look great in those white jeans. Where do you buy white jeans? I don't think I've ever seen them in stores.
It's weird. I used to have a joke about like how white guys can't pull off berets, and then I saw this comedian, the Chatterbox. I forget his freaking name, dude. Ugh. Small dude, Southern dude. I also saw him at the Riff Raff. Wears a Kangol hat. He's white.
No idea who that is.
He's white wearing a Kangol hat, dude.
I don't really know too many people out there.
And like for the longest time, I thought no white dude can pull off a Kangol hat or a beret. Like this guy. He was doing his thing, and just I guess by his mannerisms, the Kangol hat fucking works. And you're like, you're a small white dude, like Mikey Brajas, like he knows he's small, like that big kind of dude. And oh, that's another guy. Shout out to Mikey. Like talk about his hardworking motherfucker right there. He's got his own The Red Rum show now,
and he puts on legit ass shows.
Yeah, I'm gonna be going to the one coming up soon. It's on Thursdays or something, but I'll be going to it. I think it's in Fullerton or something like that, right? Yeah, Mikey.
Shout out, Mikey.
Yeah, I got to see him at the Horror Nerd show at the Improv, which I hope to do one day because I have.
What's the Horror Nerd show?
So it's a show where it's a bunch of horror, and I'm forgetting her name right now, but look up Horror Nerd and you're gonna find her. And she is the host. This awesome person that loves horror, brings on comedians to talk about horror at the Hollywood Improv in the Lab.
Mm-hmm. I've heard about it. Yeah, I've heard about it.
Yeah, he did the show, and they did it closer to Halloween where they were actually dressed up. I have jokes about obscure horror movies that no one but that fucking place will get.
I think somebody was telling me about that. I'm like, so you have to like make all your jokes Halloween themes or horror themes?
Well, you don't, but I'm going to understand the assignment, motherfucker. Like, I've done dark shows where I've made people cry and run away. Because, like, I had to learn just because you say you're at a dark show doesn't mean you're trying to destroy the world. Like,
do you like horror conventions?
I love horror movies.
Do you like The Terrifier or Black Phone? We have a bunch of horror shit up here.
So, I'm not so big. I haven't watched any of The Terrifier.
That's more of a gore movie. It ain't even horror. It's fucking gore. It's a snuff film.
And there you go. I think that, like, I've watched classics that contain those elements. I watched Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, Michael Roker, fucking amazing. I watched, the original Last House on the Left.
I like the original Norman Bates, or I guess Bates Motel or whatever.
You want to know something neat I learned? We recently watched Long Legs. Did you dig that one?
I haven't seen that one yet.
Dude, amazing. But the writer of that's the guy who played Norman Bates again? It was Anthony Perkins.
Which one, the original or
the original?
Because there's been like 5 or 6. You talking about the black and white one?
The Alfred Hitchcock one.
Yeah.
That's Anthony Perkins' kid wrote Long Legs.
I have Alfred Hitchcock somewhere. I think it's in my garage.
But that's Anthony Perkins' kid that wrote Long Legs.
That's crazy. That's the one with
Nicolas Cage, and he's badass in it.
I heard good and bad. People said it sucked. People said it was good. So I don't know.
I think that when I finished watching it, when I originally finished watching it, I had a conflicting view of the ending. It's one of those endings where like you just kind of like it ends.
What about Nosferatu, or how the fuck you say that?
I haven't watched that one yet.
I heard that one's good. I wait for movies to go on stream. Going to the movies is like $100 nowadays, especially when you take the wife and kids, like, and then popcorn, drinks. It's like, fuck, man.
And then some asshole will turn on their phone anyways and bring light into your eye. Like, no, why?
Like, I like to take my daughter to the movies, and a lot of the times you see those high school kids, and they're loud and they're annoying during the movies, like talking during the movie. I'm like, I've reached that age, or I'm like, shut up, you bastards. You know, like, I feel old now. I'm like, fuck, man. I remember I used to be those. I felt like yesterday I was those kids, and now I'm here with my kids trying to tell them to shut the fuck up, you know?
Yeah, I mean, like, and now my kids watch, like, horror movies with me, but, like, my kids are also people that will talk during a movie.
My kid will open her
jokes.
cell phone in the movie theater. I'm like, I paid money for you to come here and you're just opening your phone. Like, they have very short attention spans, so yeah.
Well, no, I don't know. Either that or they got to talk to their friend right now.
So, I have a question. So, you've done the music, you've done the comedy, like, I've talked to other people and I said, like, it comes hand in hand. It's the same. Like, if you're in a band, you're traveling. It's the same situation. Like, what's the difference? Like, being in a band on stage and doing comedy on stage. Like, do you feel more insecure by yourself, or are you better off on stage with a group of people where not all eyes are on you?
You get way more time as a musician.
They give you 45 minutes.
Yeah, like at least 25 minutes to be up there and play a few songs. And then but
It's
you
the same
also
struggle,
sweat a
though,
lot
right?
more. It's sort of, it definitely is. However, I find doing music live a lot easier. It's a little bit more rehearsed. It's,
Yeah.
even if you're doing banter in between, that's way small compared to what you have to do as a comedian. As a comedian, they have to like you.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. What's the difference when you're on stage by yourself versus when you're in a band? Like, how do you feel? Like,
When it's by myself, it seems a lot more like a liability on your own. Like,
Yep.
if it's with a band, you have people looking around at your band. But also, it's the fact that you practice songs over and over again. So,
like
like,
your
it's so much
bits is-
easier to do that than the bits.
I practice my bits a lot, so I guess it's the same unless you're turning out new material all the time.
But the thing is I don't really write down my bits.
Are you kind of a riffer?
No, I want the idea. I do it over and over again. I'll do it like live, and I'll record it.
Mm-hmm.
But before I've even done it at an open mic, I've recorded it a few times of me just saying it out loud.
In the mirror? I do it too. Like at home, I practice a lot at home.
So it never really is 100% the same way each time, like a George Carlin thing where
Exactly.
it's word for word. But I did find that when I used to write it out, I'd sound like I wrote it out.
But you sound like you're talking about. Like I have the same way. Like I can't write it down. It doesn't come like when I write it down. It doesn't come out the same. Like
Yeah.
I just have the premise basically written down, and then it's all in my head. So like, I guess we're one and the same because some people need to write it down word for word, and I can't do it. Just to me, it doesn't translate to paper. Just me. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I used to do that, but now, like, all my ideas are recorded as voice recordings in my phone instead.
I was telling the last guest I used to do that too, but my phone's full. I need to go to trade my phone in. I need to upgrade already. My shit's old. But anyways,
Yeah, just favorite the ones I like. It's like, that one. And you sometimes tell a joke to yourself, and you know right away that one works.
hey, that's the greatest feeling when you tell a joke and it actually works the first time. You're like, hell yeah! Like I have a new one, and I've only done it like twice, and each time they got huge pops, and I was like, fuck yes. Like I went so long. Like, do you ever get writer's block where I just can't think of anything? Where I'll write down premises, and I'm like, no, this sucks. No, this sucks.
Well, yeah, you go through a few months where you can't. I've gone through the few months where you can't think of anything.
That's
and then
why I
you come
was,
back.
and then this one came out of nowhere. It was like from the heavens. I was like, thank you. And it was so simple, so dumb, and it works. That's what I noticed. Like I'll watch people's clips or reels, and then just these very simple things that they say get huge pops. And I'm like, that was so fucking easy. Like it doesn't have to be complicated, you know? In my head, I'm always thinking it has to be like, smart, witty, like try to like trick the audience. But like you can literally just say a few simple words and just get them going, It's simple. Like I can't explain it. It's hard. It's simple. It's weird. You know what I mean?
Well, my least favorite is when you figure out one that works, but then you realize you're only going to be able to tell it a couple times.
Yeah, I call those throwaways. I do them a few times. Usually topical jokes.
But like you're really one, I told it at Linda's Doll Hut. I'll tell it here, exclusive. But I told it at Linda's Doll Hut, and the reason why I'll tell why I don't tell it afterwards, like to a wide scale to the world. Sorry, not to insult, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't like, if you're on America's Got Talent, of course they would throw me off right away for saying this. But I opened my show by saying, men, there's no hope if you have depression. There's no hope at all. Because I recently learned that even if you had access to eat Aubrey Plaza's pussy on a daily, you still will kill yourself.
Oh, that's fucked up. That's too soon.
It wasn't that it was too soon, though. I gladly tell too soon jokes all the time. It's the fact that I actually respect Aubrey Plaza too much to put that on something rather than 30 minutes into a podcast. I would not want to put that on the wide stage. She's an awesome person. I think it's a great joke.
She's hot and ugly at the same time.
I don't say that. I mean, I saw Child Play. It's funny. Everybody's like, I hate the Child's Play remake. I was like, it's pretty good. It's pretty watchable. Yeah, pretty good.
She's in a movie with Adam Devine, where they're like on vacation, where like her and her sister are like supposed to be like pretend dates or something. I forget what it's called, but it's these two friends or brothers. They need dates for some wedding they're going to in Hawaii, and they're basically just using these guys to like get a free vacation. But she was really hot in that movie. I can't remember the name of that movie. It was with Zac Efron and Adam Devine.
Yeah, it's one of those like throwaway,
She was hot in that movie, but like I don't know, some movies like Scott Pilgrim, she wasn't that hot in that movie. She was younger though, but
well, that was probably, and then like early on in the stuff when I think some people early in their career they don't see themselves as that type of person, and then it grows, right? And we see this with like, Nickelodeon and Disney actors. Like they come out as like, oh, I'm a wholesome actor. And then later on, hey, I'm always in lingerie. Like what's her face that was on Boy Meets World. And
oh yeah, she did a whole porno. Yeah. Like,
well, no, Sabrina Carpenter. Wait, Sabrina Carpenter?
She did like full on porn, right? The redhead from Boy Meets World.
Oh, I don't know about that. I just know that. Wasn't Sabrina Carpenter in Boy Meets World, and she was like, she was a character when my kids were watching it. I couldn't watch any episodes with her in it because she was the woe is me and everything is depressing character. Mm-hmm. And I'm done with sitcoms. Okay, fuck sitcoms. I can't stand laugh tracks. I can't stand the recycled fucking bits. It's the period episode for the girl again. It's the boy is almost gonna have sex episode again.
Are you talking about the latest Boy Meets World? The
yeah.
Oh, I'm talking about the original one.
Oh, I'm sorry, Girl Meets World, whatever. But it's like all this like just sitcoms. Yuck. Fuck. I don't even like Young Sheldon, but that's just because I don't like Sheldon.
Hey, it's a new show that I like. You heard of Righteous Gemstones on HBO?
No.
It's with Danny McBride and Adam Devine.
See, but that's Danny McBride. Like, dude,
everything
Eastbound
he does
and Down,
is gold. Yeah,
Eastbound and Down was one of the best ever.
This character is basically Scam Caller's calling me. Fuck you, Scam Caller.
Oh.
This character in Righteous Gemstones, they play like it's like a family that runs a mega church. It's like a father and then like two sons and a daughter. Like they run a mega church back east or whatever, right? It's basically Danny McBride's character, Eastbound and Down, the same fucking same character as a pastor, but he's fucking hilarious. He's the same demeanor, same attitude, same everything. It's literally the same fucking guy. They just put him in a church, but it's funny. You got to watch it. It's called The Righteous Gemstones.
Righteous Gemstones.
John Goodman plays the dad. He's like the main pastor or priest, whatever you want to call him. But they're all rich, spoiled bastards, and they run a mega church, and then it's like their family drama. They get into a lot of shit. But yeah, it's a pretty funny show. I'm only on season 2. I just started it, but I love Eastbound and Down. That's one of my favorite shows. I watched that shit like 5 times. My favorite character was Stevie. You like him?
I don't totally remember all, God, because it was such a long time ago.
Stevie was his little friend that always followed him around, like would kiss his ass, do everything he wanted him to do.
I do. My favorite one was where he's yelling. Gosh, it was in the first season. He's yelling at him. He's just like, I can't stop yelling because that would admit I'm wrong.
He's like, I don't know how to control my emotions. I'm sorry. And he's yelling at his brother, his brother's wife.
That was a pretty good one, and he I think before that I heard that he started as a producer or something.
I love Danny McBride.
Yeah.
He said when he first started acting that like he only took on a role because somebody backed out and his friend needed somebody, so like he just stepped in and then that kind of just took off from there.
And Johnny Depp, how he got the 21 Jump Street role is he went with his friend that was auditioning. He was just in the waiting room. They're like, how about you? And he's like, huh?
Same thing with McLovin. Remember McLovin from Superbad?
Oh.
He went with his friend to the audition, and they just like, who's that nerd right there? Like,
funny thing about that guy, he was one of the best supervillains in a shitty movie. So I love
Kick-Ass?
I love Kick-Ass, but Kick-Ass 2 was horrible. Like, even though Jim Carrey did a great job, but the motherfucker didn't fuck around. Like, he was a good villain. Like, he was... Like he's still McLovin, but he was, I found out where your dad lives. He's dead within like 2 minutes in the next movie. Like no fuck around. Like, oh, I'm gonna put him over a pit of sharks or some shit. Like, dead.
Yeah, I like McLovin's character or whatever the fuck his name is in that movie.
The motherfucker.
Hey, but,
So you're like, hey, I'm gonna get demonetized. I'm sorry.
hey, we don't got enough followers for that, so we're working on it. But anyways, Dan, so back to the whole comedy thing. Who's your inspirations for comedy? Like, do you have any people you look up to or you want to be like?
So there's people that you see like be like, but there's also controls. I got to meet one of my inspirational controls, which is Ron Funches.
Never heard of him. Who is he?
Oh, you haven't heard Ron Funches?
Maybe, I don't know. Who is
So
he?
he's a
Your voice cracked right there.
well, it's because I had to make it like I'm trying to do his voice a little bit just so you kind of know who he was. So he used to be a lot bigger. He's a black comedian. He actually, I think, recently started hosting a game show also. And the thing about him is he has, jokes that go into the negative, into the real, but mostly he's overall a positive human being. Mm-hmm. So when I'm a negative kind of comic and I do dark shit, but
Same.
I try to think, would Funch walk out on me for doing this before I do a joke? So he's like what I call an inspirational control. My inspiration, when I'm trying to write something that's longer form, that has a bunch of little cuts in it, that's Kyle Kinane. That guy's fucking insanely great. When it's my inspiration for how to go to the edge like no one else, that's Doug Stanhope. Like,
Legend.
yeah, super like, and also when he goes to the edge, he follows a rule that I've talked with other comedians about. Be more funny than you are offensive.
Exactly.
Be more funny than you are hateful. He is more funny. It's hilarious to see a guy who will tell you that his show is all about hate and blah, blah, blah. And then everybody's happy by the end. And he's just really good at it. That guy is the only guy using the way his words are. Kept my wife on the edge of her seat on a joke about anally raping a football star. Okay, my wife will walk out of anything that's over the top. Doug Stanhope had her watching. Anthony Jeselnik, I think, is also kind of that go to the edge without going too far over. I
haven't finished his new special. He has a new Netflix special. I haven't finished.
I have to watch it. Bill Burr.
He has a new one on Hulu. I same
Yeah.
thing. I started. I haven't finished it.
So here's a guy who I don't know if there's anyone more genuine in the universe than this human being. If you remember when Trump won the first time, 2016, he pissed off a bunch of people on the left because he came up, he's all like, what the fuck did you expect? Yeah, like, and talking all this stuff. And it's because he was talking reality to people. And now he's talking shit on Elon. It's not, and people are like, hey, I thought you were good with this because you were doing this thing before on Conan. No, he's intellectually honest human being. Mm-hmm. He's not picking a side on anything. He's just like, I'm going to do this, or like, I'm going to tell you how I think it is. Did you see him tear apart Kill Tony the one time he was on there?
Bill Burr?
Yeah.
When was this? I don't remember.
So that's the thing, is I saw this clip
it
finally.
It has to be old because I don't remember him recently.
It must have been old because they had the gray backdrop, I guess.
Yeah, it has to be
And
maybe Comedy
small.
Store.
It looked like they were actually like, they had like tables. Bill Burr's on there and he tears. See, I've always, I applaud my friends like Sandy and Seven and all those that have done it.
Shout out, guys.
Great job. But there's something that was unsettling with me about it. And Bill Burr came on and he said exactly what it is. And that's why I like Bill Burr a lot, is that he can tap in to say things that you're thinking. Mm-hmm. Like, Louis C.K. had this bit where he said, this kid, Xanthopus, was a douchebag, cum-sucking motherfucker or something like that. Mm-hmm. And he said, that's what I thought, but I didn't know the words for it. And then later on when I heard those words, I said, yes, that's what he is. And that's what Bill Burr, I think, does for a lot of people, including with what he talks about with billionaires. He reaches everybody, doesn't matter, on all the sides about, yes, he's very violent in his rhetoric that he says they got to be put down like rabid dogs. Mm-hmm. But as an artist of comedy, you have to take that with a grain of salt of why he's saying what he's saying. He's saying that these guys, with their drive to have everything, if they want to have everything, that means there's nothing left for you and me. That's all he's saying. He's saying, like, these guys need to be stopped. The way he does it pisses off people everywhere because he's really genuine about it. And that's what I like about him. And the thing is that he's able to articulate a position that maybe in the moment might be hated by the majority or a loud minority or anything. And still at the end of it, everybody's going, well, oh, all right, fine.
His
You know, I respect that a lot.
his animated series was so underrated. Did you ever watch his cartoon? F
My
is for Family?
kid watched it before me.
You let him or him? Was it a boy or a girl?
Girl.
You let her watch that?
Yeah.
That is
so
not for kids.
Here's the whole thing is you got to like my kids go to public school.
Same.
And so one thing that I love is that with the relationship I have with my kids is that I know everything they know about the world. There is nothing that's not shared between us. So my kid was already watching Paradise PD, which is over the top in my fucking...
I forgot about that. What about the...
It's over the top in my opinion.
That's the same creators of Brickleberry, right?
Yeah. And here's the thing. The only reason why I'm letting him do it is you've already heard about this stuff. This is animated. You already know what intercourse is. So what? It's animated. You're not watching actual porn. You're not watching stuff like that. There's some jokes about that stuff. But I feel like the way I guess I was raised is you don't shelter the kids. Because if you shelter them and they find out stuff, like, holy shit, the floodgates open on the
like
deviancy.
I said, no matter how hard you try to keep things away from your kids, eventually they're going to get old. And then they're going to find out when they're too late. Like, you don't want them to be in college not knowing what sex is. And then they're vulnerable. And then someone takes advantage of them. You know what I mean? Like, you can't let them be that fucking ignorant to the world, you know? Like, they have to at least have some knowledge of the world because they're going to be on their own pretty soon, you know? Just like that.
Well, and when a kid finds out their parent lied about something later on, there's some bullshit to deal with. So we've been honest with our kids about everything. Yes, there's a couple little cultural myths.
Do your kids have phones?
Going around. Yeah.
Well, then, yeah, they already know everything.
Well, but we actually waited. They asked for phones, I guess, when they were like 10, because all their friends had it, and we're like, nope. They had to wait till they were around 13.
My oldest daughter got one when she was about that age, just because of babysitting issues. Like somebody would pick her up from school. Like we had different people picking her up, so we needed to communicate with her, make sure that she was getting picked up, dropped off. Like, so that was the reason. But my little one's in kindergarten and she wants a phone. I was like, no, like, what do you mean? Like, she's like, well, this kid at school has one. I'm like, I don't care. Like, you just want to play games on our phones all day. I'm like, I'm not giving you a phone. Like, there's no fucking way. Like, but my oldest one was different just because the situation. And then eventually we got her the phone and it just kind of just stuck with it. It was mainly there for communication between drop off and pickups, but it eventually just stuck. And now she's had a phone since she was 10 and she's going to be paying her own cell phone bills soon. So yeah.
Well, or her part of the family plan. If you get that, that's a good thing too.
That's what I have. I'm like, her bill's like $100 a month. I'm like, you're gonna get a job and start paying that $100 a month. That's like 90% of your income at that age. She wants to get a job, but I'm like, well, when you're in high school, they're gonna give you no hours. You're gonna get 20 hours a week. You're gonna make $150 a check. Like, it ain't gonna be worth it. But she wants to get a job, so fuck it.
Well, but they have a different choice now. So you're in California. Go to Jack in the Box, $20 an hour.
Oh yeah.
Like we didn't have that. We didn't have that.
I told her, if you want to get a job, you have to work at In-N-Out or the movies. Like, whatever benefits me more, you know.
In-N-Out probably will pay. I don't know, but
they
In-N-Out
pay good.
has always paid above minimum wage.
And they work with school. Like, if you're in college or you're in high school, like, they work with your schedule. Like, they support that. So they're really good. But there's really no In-N-Outs around here. They're supposed to build one. They've had to sign up for like 2 years now. They haven't done anything. Like, you know that sign they put up for like when they do constructions, they put up the little city code, whatever the fuck it is. I was telling my friend, I was like, should I go attend a city council meeting to see what the fuck is going on? Like, who's not passing the permits? Because I was like, we need our In-N-Out already. I hate driving. I have to drive to Ontario or like fucking Rialto to go. By the time you get home, it's fucking cold. So
Yeah, and if you have animal fries, you got to eat them there.
yeah, I love In-N-Out. I could eat that bitch every day. Call me fat. I don't care. Like, I love fucking animal fries. I love grilled onions on my burger, chopped chilies. Do you like In-N-Out? What's your favorite restaurant?
Yeah, well, that's because I really love Carl's Jr., but they're super expensive now.
Hell
but
yeah,
they're still worth it.
They're like $15 a meal. Like, fuck that. That's how they make their $20 an hour.
In Rancho, it cost me $18 the other day for a combo.
Hey, did they close that one by your
I
house?
was still happy though. Yeah,
they closed it like officially.
like suddenly.
Well, I went there one time and it smelled like a fish tank in there, like disgusting, like sewer problems.
I didn't mind it.
We ate there, but we were like, "What the fuck's that smell?" And then not too long after, the place is closed. I was like, "What the hell happened?" And the dude that was running the register, he was like, it was just us in there and him and maybe one other person, and he was going back and forth to his car to smoke weed and then go back to the register. I was like, "What the hell?"
I mean, maybe a bad franchise owner, maybe dead people in the storage. That's the smell.
Do you like that? What's that restaurant across the way?
Legends.
Legends. That place is bomb. It's expensive though.
Okay, I got a story about fucking Legends. There's days where I am an asshole. Days where I'm a big asshole.
You yelling at the Mexicans that work there?
No. We go to Legends with my family. And you already get kind of mad because their prices have always been higher than
$20
most
a
people's.
meal.
And then you look at the burger and you're like, this should be bigger. Like, this should be bigger for that price, you assholes.
Their fries are good.
At the end of the meal, we had a substantial amount of stuff we wanted to take home. I walk up. I'm trying to build this into a bit, by the way. I walk up and I say, "Hey, do you have a to-go bag?" So I could take stuff. And the guy starts to hand me this tiny plastic bag. And I go, "You got something bigger?" He goes, "No. I mean, there's paper bags over there that are like this big."
He wanted you to pay for it?
I did this. I go, "Well, that's a bag." He doesn't catch it, this idiot. The girl behind him, however, gives me the daggers in the eyes like, "You're an asshole for reacting the way you did." Because I did the whole like, "That's a bag."
Did that guy even speak English? Because every time I go there, it's like...
it's a white dude.
Oh, I've only seen Mexican people working there. I didn't know they had white people working there.
There's a white dude looking at me like you didn't offer the bigger bag, like when I said I needed a bigger bag, just because paper. Like his brain had separated.
You know what's crazy? When
It's not that big of a deal. It's just I'm an asshole, but I did that like reaction, no poker face.
That's like when
she
you
caught it.
When you go to restaurants and you ask for ranch and they act like it's coming out of their pockets, like give the bag, give the ranch. Like Jack in the Box is like that. You have to pay for each ranch. Like it ain't that fucking great. Like
that's because they've been riding that wave since dairy went up like years ago.
I remember one time I ordered a ranch there, and they're like, and I didn't get it, and they're like, "Yeah, you have to pay for it." I was like, "I ordered it in the fucking drive-thru." I said, "Can I get ranch, please?" The fuck, like, oh yeah, I'm trying to steal your ranch, but anyways, I can't stand places like that act like it's coming out of their pockets. Like, come on, like when I used to work in restaurants, I used to hook people up. Like I used to work at Subway, and I would charge people for like a vegetarian sandwich, and it's like the cheapest one you can get. We had this old dude. He used to come in all the time and like pay the exact amount of change all the time. So I try to hook him up, and I just charge him for like a veggie, and he's like, "No, it's $4.50." I'm like, "No, it's $2." I was like trying to hook him up, and he's like, "No, it's $4." Like, all right, fuck you then. I'm trying to hook you up, but whatever.
Well, that's the thing is we're watching as all this inflation happens. I worked at a pizza chain. I won't mention which, and the actual location of this large pizza chain is no longer existing.
So talk shit then. Who cares?
Well. No. The chain itself exists, and I do like the chain.
Little Caesars?
No.
Papa John's?
I do like the chain. I enjoy the chain, and especially the one by my house. I enjoy, so that could probably give you a clue. But I worked at this one out in San Dimas.
Domino's?
God damn it! Yeah, there you go. It's weird the pressure that they put on management, like certain franchises and stuff, because I once had a manager that the pizzas he was putting out, I was like, holy shit, dude. No wonder no one's calling. You're putting like 2 pepperonis a slice. On a large pepperoni. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
I used to work at Pizza Hut, and the manager was like that too. He would be like, "Oh, like you said, 2 per slice," and then I would just hook it up. I would put all kinds of sauce, cheese, whatever. And then he tried to catch me. They would weigh it. He tried to I made a pizza and he tried to weigh it to catch me, but honestly, it still came out the same. But I was like, who the fuck wants a pepperoni pizza with 4 pepperonis on it or 3 olives?
Fucking corporate thinks that's what they want. It's corporate. It's always
listen,
corporate's fault.
When I worked Subway too, they tell you 2 olives per 6-inch. You ain't gonna taste no fucking olives in that sandwich.
Yeah.
So a 6-inch, 2 olives. I had to pick with my hands like this, 1, 2. Like I would just take handfuls of everything. Like if when I worked in restaurants, you came through my aisle or whatever, you got hooked the fuck up because I don't give a fuck. But yeah, 2 olives per 6-inch. So you order a foot long, you get 4 olives.
And how much shit is getting thrown away at the end of the day?
A lot.
Yeah, just give out a scoop.
When I worked at Pizza Hut, I would make extra pizzas on purpose. Someone called in an order and then they have to throw it away, but we can mark it and we can eat it. So I would do that every day. Just make, at the time, I would just do something a cheese pizza. Someone can come pick up a cheese pizza and I'll eat a fucking cheese pizza. I don't care. But I wasn't going to make a supreme pizza. They forgot their supreme pizza, you know?
Well, in between the studio and working in software, that's what I did for 6 days a week. I was the only full-time guy at my place because I was dependable. I'd always show up. People liked me, although I'd have my moments where I'd blow up at customers because, fuck them. Fuck culture. Some of you people, the way you treat people in uniform, fuck that shit.
Why'd you quit working on the radio station?
The recording studio?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I thought you said radio station.
Just because it was a small-time recording studio. I didn't think I really had the patience to go and become one of the big-time studios. At that point, I had to pay rent. Most recording studios, rich kids are the interns because they'll work you 18, 20 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And then you sleep on the couch and you wake up and do it again as a runner to run your way up. Mm-hmm. All the big ones. I don't have that kind of fucking patience. I was making $13.50 an hour. That was good for what the place was charging per hour to bands. That meant my employer was making less than $10 an hour off me. Mm-hmm. So, and it just wasn't enough for the promises I made to the woman I married. Right? So I was coming up 5 years to being 30. That's when I said 2 kids are coming. I made good on my shit. So I was like, all right. So I dug my way into, I was like, what are one of the industries you can get into with no college degree and make money? Software. Okay, here we go. I became a software tester.
That's cool. What bands would you record there? Is there anyone that made it, or is it just local?
Well, I mean,
bands?
we recorded people like Travis Barker, As I Lay Dying, Gatekeeper, the badass one from.
Did you hear what happened as I Lay Dying?
So yes, because I have a friend that worked with Tim Lambesis.
He's back out and they're selling out shows like nothing even happened.
Well, that's music for you. If you make good music, you get it with anything, So
they recorded in Riverside. Did you ever record a Suicide Silence?
No, they recorded in La Habra location for Love Juice. Suicide Silence, no. We actually also did the original, although I wasn't tracking it, the original demo for Panic at the Disco. And so I worked with I also worked with the lead guitarist Craig Goldie of Dio. I did some stuff with him.
You do not know Dio.
Yeah. And then just certain people, Mantis, which was the original winner of
I remember them, that Ozzy Osbourne
yeah, the Road to Ozfest. They won the first season of that.
I forgot about them. That band was sick. Are they still a band?
No, and you know what bothers me about that band is they had one of the most badass drummers ever, and right before the Road to Ozfest, he's like, well, I don't want to go on tour. They had to find another drummer. This guy came in and did a whole album, 45 minutes, in 2 takes.
Jeez.
He would be done. He would just play this, and metronome perfect with no metronome. Badass motherfucker.
I gotta look them up. I forgot. I remember that show. It was like an Ozfest, making the band or some shit.
Well, and you had to be into that kind of super breakdown hardcore at the time, like the Hatebreed and stuff like that.
Because they had a reality show for it, right?
Yeah.
I remember one dude dressed up as Clown from Slipknot and was trying to get bitches outside of the fucking the Ozfest.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I just don't remember all that stuff. But I worked with a lot, and then I recorded my own bands like King of the Crow, Ranting, Hecla. Euphoric Defilement. I did their album, and I'm going to be doing their next one.
What kind of music would you say yours? Is it black metal? What is that?
Mine, it's thrash death. It's more like Cannibal Corpse. I'm very influenced by Slayer's Divine Intervention. I love that album. That album, like, and people like, oh, there's people like Poser. That's not even a good one. Like,
Do you
no,
like
fuck you.
Do you
I
like
love
the
that
original
album.
singer or the singer now
Of what?
of Cannibal Corpse?
Oh, I'm more into Corpse Grinder. Chris Barnes. Okay, and cool. He had that deep going. But I like how Corpse Grinder knows how to open up. Like, come on, you don't get that.
You probably make my mics pop right now. I don't think I don't think they're metal enough for you.
They're so metal.
Hey, what was I gonna say? They were in Ace Ventura. Well, the original singer was Cannibal Corpse.
Yeah.
They credited them wrong. Do you ever see the credits? It's like
No.
Cannibal Corpses or something like that. Like they spelled their name wrong. But I've seen
Doesn't matter.
Corpse Grinder a few times, and it's funny how he always says like, "Hey, this next one's a love song," and then just like goes all heavy and shit.
The thing is that they get criticism for sounding the same over and over again. And if you were to look at it from outside and not be a real fan of Cannibal Corpse, that's totally true. If you look at it from a fan perspective, you watch the nuance as they go forward in learning new tricks and adding them. And in their interviews, that's what they talk about. They're like, we have fans that like certain elements. Like they want to hear, you know, they want to hear that stuff. But now let's throw in this other triplet thing we learned or another tapping thing we learned. And let's make this into a new song. And so people, when they look at death metal, don't always look at death metal the same way as they should look at other music, which is where this is going to be completely different. It's just something that's a little different.
What I don't like is people talk shit. They don't like the singer. Oh, he's just screaming. But listen to the music, the fucking guitars, the drums. You could never play that shit. Not even on Guitar Hero, you couldn't fucking play that, you know?
Well, even the vocals is something that
It's
I guess,
hard. Yeah, like I said, doing vocals is not easy. It's not just random screaming. It's trained.
I think it's
Like
a different
90%
thing.
of the people out there couldn't pull it off, you know?
When people say, "Oh, I don't know what they sound like they're saying."
Do you like female screamers?
Well, what you hear people say that like, "Oh,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know what they're saying." Do you like Sting? I'm gonna a brand new day. Like you don't know what he's saying till a couple words.
What about fucking Daddy Yankee or some shit? Or any rapper nowadays? You can't understand what the fuck they're saying.
With the mumble rap.
Like, everybody likes Kendrick Lamar. I'm gonna get hate for this. What the fuck? I can't understand what he's saying. He's always changing his voice and going up and down. Like,
Well, I don't know. It's kind of funny because like when everybody else had to erase all the Diddy music from their phone, I had none.
the only song I remember from Diddy was like the song he did for the Godzilla soundtrack. Remember Godzilla 2000?
I don't know. I mean, when they let go of R. Kelly, that's a lot of people can't use "I Can Believe I Can Fly" at things.
That was it. Remember the Michael Jordan? Was it Space Jam where Michael Jordan? It was like when he was like at the end. That was like the historical moment, and they had the music. I believe I can fly.
Yeah, but just give it time. Just give it time.
We'll forget about it, huh?
Well, because like,
Just like Elvis, he did a lot of terrible things, and we still love him.
I got a kid in band, and they were at a parade, right? And so one of the dance teams coming by, and they're playing da da da, hey, da 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 da, hey, Gary Glitter, pedophile.
What singer in that time
Like,
wasn't?
what the fuck?
Even Steven Tyler, he had like a 14-year-old wife or girlfriend that he adopted, and then was his girlfriend. You hear about that?
Well, I don't know if he was a pedophile or that was just so much coke he was a pedophile.
I don't fucking know, man. But like Elvis, like he used to have like warehouses where he'd go, and then like women would line up to just hook up with him. Like what a world back then. Like
Well,
I'm surprised he's not canceled. Like he married. I think Lisa Presley was like 14 when he met her.
yeah.
He was like 25.
Give me some of that sugar, baby.
He's like, I got candy.
I don't even understand that, by the way, because here's the thing. I was attracted to girls that were 14 when I was 14. Girls that are 16 when I'm 16. Okay, so now I'm this age. You better be at least 30 because I can't deal with your shit. Like, You better be at least. I'm married, so of course nothing's gonna happen with anybody else. But if I was dating,
Do you want me to cut this out, Dan?
no. We've been married 23 years. She's like, I know what he says.
Did you guys meet in high school or what?
No, we met later on. I had given up looking for a girlfriend,
You
and
gave up on life?
a friend told me, "Hey, you're going to the beach today." And I go, "What do you mean you're going to the beach today?" He goes, "Seriously, you're going to the beach today?" Apparently, his friend, his woman had a friend that wanted to just find a dude to hook up with.
So you were the stand-in? You
I was
volunteered as
like, "Fuck
tribute?
yeah, all right." I didn't even know, so I show up and like this, my wife shows up braless in a see-through shirt that I just loved.
You want me to cut that out, Dan?
No, I don't.
It's getting a little hot in here.
Nope. We were young.
Continue
When
the
we
story.
were young. Yeah, that's okay. I had see-through slacks show off my neck. No, just kidding. We hit it off, and my wife and I were actually booty calls for about 6 months before we decided, hey, do you want to be a thing?
6 months later, after you're like, I guess, might as well. We've been
Yeah.
swapping spit for a long time.
Well, we were resistant because we didn't want to have a relationship with anybody. So, but 6 months later, we realized we have a relationship. It's not gonna.
You guys
That's
are
not
trying to be
change.
polyamorous before it was polyamorous?
We weren't even seeing any other people. Like I wouldn't see anybody else. She wouldn't see anybody else, and it was just. But it wasn't on purpose. We didn't feel like it. So we realized, oh, this must be something. If you don't feel like hanging out with someone else, and
How did she feel about you doing comedy?
oh, it's funny because like when I used to tour for a band, at first she was worried about the groupies and stuff, but she forgot I'm 5'6" and not likable.
There's
And-
no girls at comedy shows. I tried to tell my wife that. She's like, you just want girls. I'm like, what girls? There's no girls there.
Oh no, and actually,
If
there's
there is
plenty
girl,
of
if there
guys
is
that
girls,
talk
they don't
about.
want me.
Well, there's plenty of guys that talk about I wouldn't sleep with a girl comic if I'm a comic, and I understand that.
You don't want her telling your small dick jokes are real.
It's not just that. It's just that there's other drama within it. I've seen people get into relationships in the comedy fair, and then later on, that means when you guys break up, there's a whole third of LA you're not playing suddenly.
Yeah, fuck that.
So it's not what I'd like to see anybody do. It's like, yeah, don't fuck each other if you're comedians. No, you can do what you want, but
What if you hook up with a male comic?
well,
No homo. Don't say anything.
hey, if that's on your prerogative, it is.
Hey.
But
I won't say anything if you won't say anything.
was it at least for money? No. It's. I just don't recommend anybody shits where they eat. So when you're a comedian, sleeping with another comedian is risky. I mean, it worked out for Tom and Christina P. But doesn't work out for everybody, and most of the time I've seen it works out as
Well, Ralphie May and his wife were comedians too. Well, she was like a musician comedian.
yeah, but like in the small time, like that happens in the big time. I think that's actually more stable than we see this with actors and stuff, except for like J-Lo and Ben Affleck. They're fucking other people all the time, but like I think what I've seen at our level of comedy.
The bottom of the barrel.
Well, people still working up. I've watched a lot of that go wrong, and now suddenly she only plays at these 3 clubs, and he only plays these 3 clubs.
I've only met a few female comics that will actually talk to me. So like most girls, they won't even talk to me. I'm good. I don't care. But like most of them won't even look my way or even give me the time of day. So.
Oh, a lot of them think I'm creepy or hitting on them right away, and I don't know. It must be like, see the face. This is why I'm going to wear a mask for the band.
I just don't even waste my time talking to them. Like, no disrespect to them, but like, I ain't gonna be that guy. Like you said, automatically you're a creep. Or like, all right, well, I just won't
always
talk
try. I always try. I creep out some, and then there's some that will actually. I think I creeped out Angie C the first time I talked to her, right? Because but like, dude, you're a 45-year-old white dude with a beard going up to a
19-year-old college girl.
Hey, I thought your set was great. You gonna be around here again? And it's like sometimes I forget how socially awkward that might be for women. And a lot of the women that show up at the mics we go to are on the younger side. So it's like I have no interest in them, but I'm pretty sure they're used to guys looking like me coming up that have interest. So I've always taken that like I've walked up to girls, talked to them, and they just walk away,
I feel like
and it's like,
like
okay, I get it. But later on, I'll talk to them later, and everything's fine, and they realize, oh, he just seems creepy, but he has no interest in me.
yeah. Shout out to Angie. I like her. She's cool. She's funny. She can play guitar or ukulele, whatever it is. She's really talented. Like, and she's a nurse. She's really smart. Shout out. I hope she does well in life, save lives, make people laugh. But I like her. She's cool. She's cool people.
And she'll actually show up to not just shows, but open mics when she doesn't even plan to go up.
Yeah, very supportive. Yeah.
Yeah, and just support all the people that she likes. So.
See, like I said, I like people like her. She's cool. Like, she'll talk to people. But I'm saying there's people that are real stuck up. Like you said, automatically, like, you're a creep. I'm like, I'm not trying to get at you at all whatsoever. I've never hit on not one female comic. Like, I'm not interested. Like I said, I want to do what I'm here to do my thing and leave. You know, I got shit to do. I don't have time to get drunk and try to spit game with some chick. You know, I'm fucking 36 years old. Those days are behind me, you know?
But I am forgiving if someone thinks I'm a creep.
Because I'm a creep.
Well, no, just because it's like
weirdo.
Comedy is one of those areas where women will be around creeps. I just
That's
found
why they
out.
That's why they say the chatterbox. They let the men and women go, or the women and non-binaries go first. But I've gone to plenty of comedy shows. I've never seen a dude being inappropriate with a woman. If it was, I didn't see it. But I've never seen comics or fans or anybody being appropriate with a woman. Never around me. So I've never witnessed it, but I'm sure it happens. But just me personally, I've never seen it. So yeah.
In the LA sphere, I've seen more often people say, you shouldn't go to this mic or that mic. Why? Oh, well, there's this rapist that's there.
What?
Yeah, and but like, and
They
sometimes
let him or her in?
sometimes it's legitimate, and you're like, wow. You find out it is. Sometimes you find out it's not legitimate, and you're like, what the fuck's going on there? And you find out it's just like any artistic industry. Okay, they let this rapist in, but it's because he knows the guy who the landlord, and so like we get money off our rent if we let him come in and do 5 minutes. And you're like, this shit happens in comedy? Yes, it happens. Please don't judge us. We need the money off our rent. Like,
hey, fuck those people, whoever allowed that to happen. Swipe or no swiping.
well, and so I think sometimes it's based off of like past things that I've learned. Like people say, oh, well, it's not like they have a current charge, but like 8 years ago they did this thing. So you'll see these riffs throughout LA like that. Like it's weird. It's definitely one thing I didn't like about going into comedy. You're back where the bullies are.
Mm-hmm.
You're back where the high school popularity contests come back. And sometimes it's not you, it's the place.
Exactly.
But you're going to feel like it's you. You're going to drive home that night going, I suck so bad. I should give up. I should just like drive off the side of this 210 freeway.
Doesn't that
never
suck?
come back to LA?
Doesn't that suck? But then the following week you get a show somewhere else and you kill it, and it just takes it all away.
It's the weirdest thing, and then it's sometimes you're beating yourself and going, why do I put myself through this at age 45? At the age of 45, why would I go through such a thing?
Hey, you ever try voice acting?
I have people asking me, should I do it? I'm actually thinking about looking into it. It's just, I have this, I guess I'm apprehensive about the whole art world because I've been there in so many capacities as a musician, as a comedian. Oh, let's go into voice acting and have producers fuck me there too.
Just find somebody who does animations on the low on YouTube and ask to voice their animations. I love fucking comedic animations, like where like I love it when they take comics bits and they turn it animated. That shit's so fun. I wish people could do that for me, but I don't know anybody that does
Shorties
animations.
watching Shorties.
Yeah, those are funny. I like those.
I loved it when they did that. Dr. Katz.
Yeah.
That's when they would work their... Emo Phillips was on that. Mm-hmm. You remember Emo Phillips?
No.
You don't remember Emo Phillips. He was the guy with the bowl cut, kind of, with the black hair.
Was that on YouTube?
No. Well, so he... Did you watch UHF, Weird Al's movie?
A long time ago.
Remember the carpenter that cut off his fingers?
Maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time. You talking about the original one from the 90s?
Well, there's only one. I mean,
there's two of them.
They remade UHF. I'll fucking kill him.
Well, I think it's a biopic. It's the guy from Harry Potter played him. fucking
Oh,
weird.
no, that's the Weird Al biopic. But UHF is Weird Al's actual movie he helped write. And in it, Emo Phillips. So Emo Phillips was big in the 80s. And he was that comedian that had this kind of voice right here.
No, I don't remember. You
He
kind of sound like
told a
Miss
lot of-
Doubtfire.
Dude, he told irreverent jokes that were great. He's like, when I was a kid, I prayed and prayed for a bicycle. But then I realized that's not how God works. And so I stole one and asked for forgiveness.
You sound like a creepy lady out of a fucking church, some old lady or something.
Come over here and have some popsicles. Yeah, I love creepies. You do the Beetlejuice voice.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You
Nice
sound
and creepy on people.
Shout out Beetlejuice. I said earlier you were talking like that. Like, you sound like Beetlejuice.
I've done that. I went to Not Scary. I took one of my kids to Not Scary Farm. They were old enough this year. The next one gets to go next year.
I want to take my daughter, but she's too scared. She doesn't want to go.
And right in, I embarrassed my kid because someone walks by and with a Beatles shirt, and I go, "I like your shirt." And the lady does this. She goes, "Thanks." "Oh, you did the voice, ha ha ha!" And my kid's like, "Don't do that, Dad." I go, "But it just made that lady's day."
Did you like the new
You're
movie?
14. Why do you care about that? Well, that's why you care. You're embarrassed because you're 14.
Did you like the new movie?
We actually went to the theater to see it. Maybe
too.
that's why I wasn't as happy. But
It was all right. It didn't have to happen.
it was not. Yeah, I didn't like how it was kind of carbon copied in parts of what was going on. Let's have another marriage. Let's have another this.
Well, I didn't like how that one, his ex-wife, was like creeping through the whole movie, like she was coming to get him, and they just eliminated her like that. Like, it was
No,
very-
nothing happened with her. That could have been some shit, huh?
The snake or something ate her, right? Like,
Yeah. Well, she barely did anything. Like, I thought more was going to happen. And then name one of your favorite lines Beetlejuice did this time.
I don't. I've
right.
only seen it twice, but I don't. It's nothing iconic.
So we go through the first movie, right? "Hey, Boogie, you want a Zagnut? You know what a guy like me needs is a little bit of action, if you know what I
Do
mean."
you see the pop? Do you see the pop I have, where he's at
Yeah.
the strip club, the Inferno,
Yeah.
Dante's Inferno?
We got, dude, I had a girlfriend whose dad was named Charles. One day I knocked on the door. He opened. I went, "We come for your daughter, Chuck." He was like, "Never say that again." Okay? What's the most memorable line that Beetlejuice says in Beetlejuice?
I don't know.
Fuck.
He said, when did he say that?
He says it in the factory somewhere. He finds out something. It was a funny reaction to something. He says, "Fuck." That's his best line.
This is in the second one?
Yes.
Oh, I was
He-
thinking about the first one.
No, in the second one, like he has nothing memorable.
I think
I didn't like that.
that one guy, Bob, was the most memorable because everybody felt sorry for him.
Yeah, but it was like I did love though how they did the wraparound story to get rid of the dad because he was a pedophile. You know that, right?
They killed him off because he did some weird shit in the early
He's a
2000s.
CP dude.
Yeah, they basically killed him off. So yeah,
Yeah, they had to, and they did the claymation. He was the principal in Ferris Bueller's Day Off also.
I love that movie.
And his last movie he did was Sleepy Hollow before he got caught by the cops.
that was a badass movie.
Yeah, Jeffrey something is his name.
I don't remember. I remember him from those movies, but
He,
yeah,
yeah.
Sleepy Hollow was dark. They used to scare me when I was little.
He was a good actor, like such a good actor. He could even talk a kid into fucking. Like,
I'm about to cut that out now, Dan. You're
like-
talking about demonetizing. You're like, you're gonna get us kicked off now. Hey, but don't ever do that, people. Fuck
yeah,
that guy.
don't you ever fuck kids.
Awkward. I'm just kidding. Anyways, Dan, let's go back to your whole music thing. When's your music video you're gonna film?
So probably around April or May, but it all depends on getting this mass done because
What do you plan on doing for the music video? Like, gonna do like a fucking backyard show or something?
it is a backyard show, and
And
that's
in your
that's all
backyard?
I gotta say because it's gonna be funny, but I can't give away what's gonna actually happen.
Well, how are you gonna get people to come if you don't give it away?
So, well, because invitations are going out to only people I know. I can't have everybody in the world in my backyard.
Well, how are you gonna film a music video with a lot of people if you don't invite a lot of people?
I'm going to invite a lot of people, but they're going to get DM invites, people I know. Because I know plenty of people, I think. You know, I got friends.
Are you gonna make it like a short film at all, or like cuts
Yes.
in between? Can I be in one of those?
No, it's going to be it's actually the full album is a movie.
Can I wear my Hot Cheeto Halloween costume to the video?
No.
It's metal as fuck. Come on.
No, because there will be a dress code.
We have to wear white with black ties. Is it a funeral?
No. But there is a dress code of looking like you're going to a club,
Like a disco or like a nightclub?
like a nightclub. Yeah.
So I have to wear slacks and in a backyard?
No. So shoes, the shoes that you wear, do not wear nice shoes. You're in a backyard. But the rest of it, you can wear jeans. But the shirts and stuff, I want people to look like they're going to go like
button-ups, go to the disco.
you're going to be filmed being dancing like at a Motown show. Like think of Soul Train.
Is this a disco?
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
A metal disco?
We're doing Soul Train. We're doing Soul Train for a death metal album.
I'm going to get a glitter button-up t-shirt for this. I'm going to go to the Goodwill in Upland to find something.
My favorite thing is that I have a lot of metal friends, and it's like I'm going to tell them, no, you got to dance like you're on Soul Train. And they're going to be like, even when we want to headbang, yes, you have to resist it. You have to resist it and dance this way. Yeah.
Anyways, you're fucking crazy, Dan. Anyways, Dan, we're about to hit an hour and 20. Anything else you want to plug? The time goes by fast in this thing.
Go to heklametal.com, HEKLAMETAL.com, and you get the first album free until that second album goes out. Once that second album goes out, you got to pay for all of them.
Yeah, I was telling Leo was talking about. He's like, yeah, I didn't know Dan did your music. I was like, yeah, he has an actual band. He's like, I thought it was just instrumental. I was like, no, he has vocals. He's pretty fucking sick. Like, I was like, I love your music. It's pretty fucking sick. This guy's a sick fucking one-man band metalhead.
Yeah,
you probably pop my mics again. I'm just kidding.
You know what's fun is like doing that voice, like when people don't think you're coming around. Like,
do you ever do that on stage when you're doing comedy?
Well, yeah, I've walked around and done that, but I've also, like, when people aren't paying attention, they're talking, you walk them and you go, I'm sorry, that more interesting than me. Like, what the fuck? You're just, yeah, I'm sorry. And it's actually,
I wonder why people think you're creepy, Dad. You're doing this weird shit.
I have a 5-octave voice, so every once in a while it goes in that low range, and that's what makes white people scared. You're like, hey, how are you doing?
How come you don't dye your beard like Dimebag or something cool, or braid it?
Because I'm very proud.
You ever braid it like that guy from UFC? You ever seen that dude? He has a long fucking like Yosemite Sam braids.
My wife will braid it now and then, but not very often because they hate finding all the crumbs. They're like, this is gross.
During COVID, I grew my beard out pretty long too, but I didn't like it. It was like you have to shampoo, it's like fucking hair. Like I don't want to do all that.
And you don't want to get on the no-fly list, right?
Exactly. I can't have a beard looking like this. I've never been on a plane, but I'm pretty sure I would get patted down extra twice.
Yeah.
He's like, 2 fingers, better make it 3. Anyways, Dan, tell the viewers where they can find you, your social medias.
So I prefer you go to my Instagram because TikTok might go away. Facebook is a cesspool of shit. So go to my Instagram, Dan J. Ochoa Comedy and Metal. Yes, at Dan J. Ochoa Comedy and Metal. You get comedy and metal. And lately, my reels where I do the like I take news clips or something and I put it in them, that doesn't get a lot of plays. I think the algorithm's fucking. Why is it all the shit with my upfront gets more plays?
You get shadow banned a lot for sure. I get shadow banned a lot all the time.
Oh yeah. Don't mark your stuff anything political. I tried to go around it with this last one where I did that chainsaw video. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Oh, dude, because like that noise Elon made. Jesus Christ, a man made that? All right, whatever. And these are the fuckers saying, we have to repopulate the population. Not with your weak shit, bitch. Like, yeah, I don't want more Elons. It's more douchebags telling us to work 120 hours a week.
Anyways, you can find me on my Instagram, AndyC_comedy. You can also follow the Instagram for the Crimson Comedy Show. I'm sorry, I'm over here tongue-tied. The Crimson Comedy Show. Follow us on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Like, subscribe. Anyways, Dan, it's been nice talking metal and comedy. I'd love to have you back because I try to keep it short, but you have a lot of shit to talk about. You're a good fucking person. I love you, Dan. Thanks for the music. Thanks for helping me out. All right. Good night, guys.
Good night.